So as you, let me just pull this camera a little. So as you saw by the video title, it's time to talk about the Holy Grail. What is it? Well, as the story goes, the Holy Grail was a cup used by Christ at the Last Supper. And later it was Joseph of Arimathea, so the story goes, that collected blood of Christ into the cup, and then the cup disappeared. It seemed to have reappeared later in the Arthurian legends, especially with the legend of Parcival. Now, Parcival was a knight who was destined to win the Holy Grail. Yeah? So off he went, searching for the Holy Grail. After a long period of searching, looking around, he found the Grail Castle. Now, Parcival was a knight. He was instructed by a senior knight that a knight should never ask questions. In other words, society put on Parcival its laws and regulations, its rules. So when Parcival finally found the Grail Castle, he was inside the Great Hall, sitting next to the Grail King, the Fisher King, who was terribly wounded in the groin, suffering terribly. And Parcival's inner voice was telling him to ask how the king is feeling, to ask him. But the society, the rules and regulations placed on society, the rational mind, the masculine mind, told him no, a knight should never ask questions. So he failed to ask the question. When he failed to ask the question, he was really kicked out of the Grail Castle. He didn't win the Grail. So off he went. He vowed to find the Grail Castle again, and he wandered for many, many years, and he finally gave up, as it were, of trying to think his way to find it, and he lets go of the reins of his horse. And at that moment, the horse, his nature's instinct, his spontaneity, led him back to the castle. So he finds the castle by letting go of any outcome, letting go of what he thinks he should be doing. He just lets nature, the divine nature, his intuition to lead the way. That's what the horse means. That's what an animal, a magical animal in all mythology, fairy tales, and in dreams really mean. So there he is, at the castle again. He's sitting next to the Grail King, and this time he remembers that he failed because he didn't ask the question. So his inner voice is saying again, ask the king how he's feeling, and he does. So how are you feeling, Father? He asks. At that moment, the Grail, the doors in the hall open, and a procession comes in. At the head of the procession is a maiden dressed in white, long flowing hair, and she carries the Grail. So there's the Grail for you. The Grail is the feminine, the holy feminine, the feminine intuition. And Parcival becomes the Grail keeper. Yeah? So that's one story. In Wolfram von Eschenbach, there's another story regarding the Grail. It gives you an indication what the Grail is. And the story goes like this. There was a war in heaven between God and Satan. On one side there were the angels that were supporting God. On the other side there were the angels that were supporting Satan. But there were also neutral angels. And these neutral angels brought the Grail down to earth. So there's your opposites. There's the side of the outside life, and there's the side of the inner life. There's the side of the masculine, there's the side of the feminine. There's the side that supports the spirit, there's the side that supports matter. Do you see? But it's the middle way that the Grail represents. There's your middle way. There's the side that looks into the material side of life, outside, and there's the side that looks inward, into the spiritual. And Grail is the middle way that mediates between the two. And what is the mediation that mediates between the two? It's your nature, you know, spontaneity, difficult word to say sometimes. Your intuition. That's why the Grail, when it entered the hole, the great hole in the Grail castle, was held by a woman, by a young woman flowing long hair with a white dress. She's the feminine divine. That's what's missing in our culture. And the feminine divine, the core of the feminine divine, you can see is the Grail. In the Grail is your intuition. The cup within which is held all the wisdom, all the things that you want to. It's a never-ending, it's an inexhaustible source of abundance. That's what it means. Yeah. Another way to understand the Grail cup is that a cup. Let me just hold up a cup for you. There's a cup. Yeah. So imagine that this is the Grail. The outside of the cup is the outside life. The inside of the cup is the inside, the inner life. And that the cup holds both. See? It holds the outside and it holds the inside. So it's both. It mediates between the two dimensions of life. The physical and the spiritual. Matter and spirit as one. This is what the Grail means. Okay? So, I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a dream. Someone had a dream about the Grail, finding the Grail. Now, the dreamer is having this dream about finding the Grail because he was asking a question for the meaning to his own existence. You know, he was he said that there must be more to my existence than just merely working and paying bills and kids and holidays and worried about money. There's got to be more to he was asking, who am I? There must be more to me than just this. Who am I? And this is the reply that he had in his dream. He's traveled on a train, and the train finally comes to the last stop, to the last station. He can't go any further than that. Excuse me. The dreamer gets off the train, finds a dirt road, a dirt track. He follows that dirt track into sort of a nature's landscape. This is going inward. And he doesn't go very far. He's walking by himself. He doesn't walk very far where he sees a fish, a big fish, maybe 2 meters long, black fish, a dead fish, lying on the side of the road, on the left side of the road. He comes up to the fish and he knows in his own mind, this is in his dream, that this is where they hidden the Grail. By them, he means society. His work, the pressures that were put on him in everyday life, the family and friends and all the things that are keeping him away from his inner life. This is what he means, that this is where they've hidden the Grail. He puts his hand inside the fish. He feels for the Grail. He finds it and he pulls it out. He pulls it out and it's a beautiful silver cup. He holds the cup and he starts looking inside of the cup. And the more he looks inside of the cup, the more he sees a picture in there. It's like a mirror. He thinks he sees a reflection of himself. But the more he looks into the cup, the more the picture solidifies and it becomes more three-dimensional. Like he described it like a hologram. And the more he looked into this hologram, the more it was taking shape, the more it became real. And then he saw that the shape that it was taking was the shape of a man sitting cross-legged in meditation. The man was dressed in white with a longish hair and a small beard. And then he looked into this man and he saw that the man had 4 arms, one for each direction of the geographical direction. So there was south, west, east and north. 4 arms. And he's sitting there cross-legged in meditation, eyes closed. And then he looked even closer into this man's face. And he saw that the face was crystallizing. And it saw that it was the face of Christ. So the sitting cross-legged, 4-armed Christ looked up at the man. And he saw that he had very deep blue eyes, and he almost saw that the Christ was having a small smile when he was looking deeply into his eyes. And in a moment, the picture was still changing. It wasn't done. It was still crystallizing. It was still changing. The hologram was still forming. And when the dreamer was looking deeper and deeper, and suddenly the face of Christ had his face. It was him sitting there. And with a shock, the dreamer woke up. And he realized in an instant that what he was asking the question, what is his purpose of life? There must be more. Who am I really? He realized that he is a Christ, a God. That is to say, he's divine. He's both mortal and divine. You see? And that is exactly what you all are too. You too are a divine. A Christ, a Buddha, a God, a Yahweh. For men, we have the male image of God. For women, we need to have the goddess image, because women are not men. So for men, for women, she will be Isis, she will be, any other female goddess that she chooses, she wants to be closer to. But with further work, with asking the question, who am I? You will receive the same answer. The image of the deity that you find in the center. That's what the Grail, means. When you're looking inward, when you find your center, at the center of that Grail is your deity, is your own divine part. So when you look deeper, when you ask the question, the Grail, your intuition will finally reveal the answer to you, that you are holy, you are divine, you're God, goddess. It doesn't mean that there's still another deity like in Christianity, that there will be God the Father that is still higher than this. You are that deity, that God the Father, or God the Mother. Girls have girl God. Boys have boy God, put it that way. But it's the same deity. It's just because of our gender differences that we need to have the difference with your own face on it. Okay, so the Grail. So the Grail is the middle way, the center, the intuitive center that reveals to you everything that you want to know. This dreamer wanted to know who he really is, that there must be more to life than what he was told by society. Like Parcival too. He was wandering all over the countryside looking for himself, really, what he really is. Society told him one thing, that he's a knight and he shouldn't ask any questions, but the Grail said something else. He's the Grail keeper. You're the Grail keeper. When Parcival trusted his own inner voice, he received the Grail. When you trust your own inner voice, you receive the Grail. Like this dreamer. He started to look for answers outside of what the society and culture and tradition were trying to place on him. And that's when intuition kicks in, if you listen to your dreams and visions and intuitive insights, and reveal to him that he is divine. So that's what the Grail does. The Grail gives you the center. It is the center. It is the middle way, the Buddha's middle way, if you like. It is between the opposites. There's no such thing as opposites, really. It's all you. In-depth psychology, and Jung likes to emphasize that there are opposites. it's all you. How can you say that it's all, the mind divides. That's the masculine mind, the rational. It divides into this, good and bad, evil and righteous, and the chosen and the rest, the bad and good and male and female. But it's all you. The inner and the outer. Only because your mind, your rational mind, your thinking divides this, but it's always there, and it's an equal part of you. It's not something which is missing. It's just you're not paying attention to it, but it's always there. So you can't say that it's an opposite. It's also you. It's the unseen part of you, if you like, but it's always there. But to talk about it, to give it a description, to give it put it into words, we use the word opposites. But there's no such thing as opposites. It's all you. Even we divide ourselves. Right now you can see this in society. The society divides itself into the righteous society and the bad society. The righteous people, the exceptional people, the West, and the rest. But underneath all this, there is no such thing as opposites. It's like plants being rooted in the same ground. We all look different on the surface, like the plants, but underneath we are all rooted in the same ground of the spirit, the same essence. It's just manifesting itself in unique ways. So that's what this dreamer was shown, and it was shown to him within his grail. So grail is your center. That's your center, your inner eye is your center. That's the grail. And that's why it was held up by a woman. But this beautiful, when she entered the hall and Parcival finally won his grail, the feminine. This is the divine feminine. This is what's missing in our over-rational Western society. It's been sabotaged. It's been hijacked by the rational mind. The rational mind rejects anything that is irrational. So, there's a lot of talk out there that, there is feminine divine and masculine divine. The masculine is your rational mind, it's your thinking, your deductive science. It will reject anything irrational. It will reject divinity straight away because you can't prove it. So you can't say that it's, divine masculine. The masculine will reject the divinity at the first opportunity. If you want to talk about males, divine males, that's probably more appropriate. Because the masculine is the rational mind, the feminine is the intuitive mind. And the intuitive mind knows about the divine. The rational mind rejects everything. It divides everything into two. Me and you. There's never us. Never we. Me and you. Them and us. My tribe, their tribe. My duck god is better than your chicken god. And we see this trouble, especially now in the Middle East. Same people, same background. And they can't get on with each other because religions divide them. And politicians are not helpful. Because, stand with us or you're against us. It's all over the world. This hijacking of our culture by the masculine mind, the divisive mind. There are people that followed my work for years and years and years, and everything is love and light, and everything is I love everyone, and I love this and I love that, and I'm intuitive. And the first sign of emotionally programmed from TV, you stand with us or you're against us, and they just fold and straight away start to back their own governments, their own country, their own media, without even giving a second thought that the others are human as well, just like them. That there's just another unique manifestation of the same holy, divine energy, whatever you want to call it, God, spirit, soul. So that's so important. And it's important to recover your Holy Grail, your intuition, because intuition flies above all that and sees wider, He sees beyond all the opposites, divisions. He sees the unity, the interconnectedness of everything. Yeah? So that's what the dreamer had. He had this vision that he knew that he is not the Christ, but he's a Christ. That's a huge distinction. That he's just a divine, like everybody else is divine. And that's an archetypal dream. The Holy Grail is an archetype of this center, the middle way, which repeats itself in all cultures. The cosmic axis, the axis mundi. Okay? So that's what I wanted to talk to you. Oh, I have to finish because the memory is just about to run out. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. The archetype of the Holy Grail. And I hope that that was informative, and I'll see you on the next one. See you, bye.